To perform the special duties, the officers have had their kits withdrawn. They have been issued with clearance certificates and are asked to report to police headquarters to be issued with discharge certificates on or before 2nd July 2017. In other words, their forces' identification cards have been withdrawn. These officers have been picked from the various police formations, including the GSU, the Kenya Airport Police Unit, Traffic and Dog Unit, among others, across the country. A similar thing has also been done within the National Intelligence Service. Officers withdrawn and some of them deployed as election officials. Recruits to this scheme are also being drawn, of course, I've mentioned, to the National Intelligence Service. Information at our disposal indicate that these officers will be recruited as polling clerks of the IEBC, of course with instructions from the Jubilee administration on how to behave. A similar exercise took place in the run-up to the 2013 elections, when officers drawn mostly from the NIS and the administration police were recruited as polling clerks, IT officers, and into other positions where they proceeded to manipulate and corrupt the system from within to deliver a dubious victory to Jubilee. The recruitments going on now are not happening in isolation or out of the blues. They are products of panic strategy meetings by Jubilee that followed both the court rulings mentioned earlier and the NIS polls that showed President Uhuru Kenyatta trailing by a huge margin. You have details of a meeting dated Nairobi, Friday, 16th June 2017, whose preamble said that an opinion poll commissioned by the National Intelligence Service the week before had caused massive panic in government as it put the race at 30% to 70% in favor of NASA. It was after this poll that Jubilee hurriedly formed a team that discussed, in their own words, 3 possible scenarios of the impending general election outcomes and their likely repercussions. The recruitment of police officers into election activities and the mobilization of other security agencies for so-called peace operation fall within the recommendations of the Jubilee team under scenario number 2, which was an undisputed Raila win. The Jubilee minutes dated Friday, 16th June 2017, described a Raila win as tragic and said President Uhuru Kenyatta would outrightly reject the results and refuse to hand over power. It is under this scenario of a Raila win, which now looks increasingly likely, that the ongoing activities fall. The Jubilee strategy team had recommended, among other things, use of police officers as polling officials, presiding officers, polling clerks, and polling or party agents. We are demanding the following from the Inspector General of Police. A. What is the nature of the special duties the police officers have been assigned? B. What is the current posting of the police officers in question? C. What are the criteria that were used to identify the officers to be picked for these special duties? D. Which other police officers are involved in the special duty assignments surrounding the upcoming general elections? Once again, we want to challenge President Kenyatta to go beyond mere rhetoric and show in action that he is prepared to play by the rules and respect the will of the Kenyan people in this election. Uhuru must not subvert the will of the people or overthrow our constitution. His maneuvers indicate that he is not prepared to respect the verdict of the people contrary to his pronouncements. To our supporters, I wish to affirm that there is something good in Uhuru's maneuvers. They indicate Jubilee is struggling and Uhuru is beatable. Having failed the country by presiding over runaway corruption, massive unemployment, and a malfunctioning economy, Uhuru has no achievement to show Kenyans and nothing to propel him. The momentum is with NASA. We are poised for an outright win, and Jubilee must end these maneuvers. We will not be cowed as a people, as the people of Kenya. And I also want to extend by saying that I talked about the minister or the acting minister for internal security the other day, who has been summoning officials of the IBC, supposedly to talk about security matters, but basically just trying to blackmail him. I saw President Uhuru Kenyatta and Ruto yesterday chest thumping at the coast that I should leave Mr. Matiang'i alone. Waswahili wanasema ukitaka kujua mwenye umbwa ni nani, chapa umbwa, alafu mwenye umbwa atatoka. Tuliona jana. Kwa hivyo sisi tunawaambia bana, msitumie ofisa wa serikali vibaya. Wacha wanasiasa wacheze siasa. Bwana Matiang'i anachagua kama anataka kuwa mwanasiasa awe mwanasiasa. Kama sivyo basi akae kando. Lakini kwa asiwe tuko pande moja, yeye anafanya kampeni kwa Jubilee, alafu kwa pande nyingine anajifanya ati yeye sasa ni waziri wa ulinzi, ati yeye sasa anaita maafisa wa IBC kwenda kuwatisha. Hiyo hatuwezi kukubali. Na mimi ningependa kumshauri Bwana Chebukati na wenzake, kama Bwana Matiang'i anataka kuwaona, aende kwa ofisi yao. Sio yeye anawalika kama watoto wake ati wanakwenda kwa ofisi yake kila siku. Hiyo kiuka ile uhuru ambayo tume ya uchaguzi imepewa kikatiba. Shukrani. Katika hii taarifa tumesema na tumetoa thibitisho ya kwanza, kuna njama ya kutumia maafisa wa polisi kwa njia mbaya katika uchaguzi inazokuja. Tumepata barua ambayo imetoka ndani ya polisi ambayo askari wengine wanatolewa kwa kazi ya kawaida, wanaamrishwa kurudisha vitambulisho vyao ili wapewe ati kazi maalum wakati huu. Na tunathibitisho kutoka kwa wale maaskari wenyewe ati wanapewa kazi ya kuingia kwa mambo ya uchaguzi. Watumiwe kama ofisa wa uchaguzi, wengine kama agent, wengine kama clerks wa Jubilee katika uchaguzi zijazo. Vile vile tunajua ati kuna njama ya kutumia wanajeshi siku hiyo ya uchaguzi na kinyume ya sheria. Vile ninavyojua, rais hana uwezo wa kutumia jeshi au kutoa amri ya jeshi watoke kwenye vituo vya kijeshi na kuja kwa barabara bila idhini ya bunge. Na bunge imefungwa na hakuna idhini ambayo bunge imepatia Rais Uhuru Kenyatta kutoa wanajeshi kwenye vituo vya jeshi. Ningependa tena vile kurudia haya, kuambia wanajeshi wetu wametuhudumia vizuri tangu uhuru mpaka wakati huu. Ningependa kumwambia yule mkuu wa jeshi asikubali kutumia vibaya wakati huu wa uchaguzi. Asikubali kutumia jeshi kukaa katikati ya Wakenya na waamuzi wao. Wawache Wanakenya wafanye uamuzi kama Wakenya kwa njia ya kiamani na njia ya kiraia. let it be a civilian elections, not a military elections. So we don't want our military to be involved in this electoral process. Neither do we want our police officers to agree to be used as agents of Jubilee in these elections. Thank you very much. We are going to give you written evidence of what we are talking about. I mean, just not talking out of the blues. We have evidence that officers have been withdrawn and they've been asked to surrender their forces identification cards so that they can be deployed in special missions. Now you ask yourself, what is a special mission? Why should a police officer be forced to surrender his forces card? Then it becomes an ordinary Raila. Yet he's not being dismissed from the services. It means he's going to be deployed for clandestine purposes. And it's clear. Some of them have spoken. They're also Kenyans. So I'm not making wild allegations. I'm talking about something that is substantiatable.
When this matter came up previously, the response that came from the government was that these officers are being deployed to the National Intelligence Service, and that is the normal procedure, that they cannot go there as police officers, so they have to have their badges and other equipment from the police withdraws so they can pass through the NHS. Have you confirmed that information?
To my knowledge, National Intelligence Service officers is another force. They're trained separately as National Intelligence officers. Then those cannot be special duties. What are those special duties? Okay? If that was the case, it should be neat. But even National Intelligence Service officers also have got forces numbers. They're also serving officers. They're police officers. There's nothing special about them at all, except that they are in national intelligence. These ones are regular police officers.
Based on what you say, and assuming nothing is done, how then, as NASA, do you ensure that these officers do not alter the laws?
You are not the government. That's why we're telling them not to do it. You are going to ask Uhuru that question. Don't ask me. Kaparo. I talked to Mr. Kaparo himself when I met him the other day, and he denied ever making such a statement. He said he was talking about hate speech only, and that he has no intention, neither does he have the capacity to shut off communication system. So I told him that this is not Uganda. Remember, Uganda did shut off communication during the polling day the other time. And but we know that everything is being done at advice of their other counterparts elsewhere. Now we have, so we saw this, the director of Communications Authority of Kenya, Mr. Wangusi, the day saying that there will be no direct transmission of results from polling stations. That results must only be released by the Electoral Commission in Nairobi, which completely, of course, ignores the court ruling, which had said that results which are announced by the presiding officer at a polling station is itself final. So it becomes a public information, and the media can pick it from there and broadcast it. The same thing with the results at the tallying center at the constituency. The court ruled very clearly that the tallying results